Shalom, shalom and welcome. This is Yasharal, Living Orders and Commands. It is an end-time series directed to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father, Yahuwah. For I believe without a doubt, if your pursuit is to do the will of the Almighty Creator, that you will come to know that His name is Yahuwah, and that He manifests Himself. His word was manifest in the flesh, in the person, in the man Yahusha, as Mashiach, to demonstrate to us how to engage Him in prayer, worship, and obedience, to bring about restoration and fellowship. I believe without a doubt that an awakening nation under the banner of Yasharal will fulfill the promises that were made to the forefathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, commonly known as Isaac, Yaakov, commonly known as Jacob, whose name was changed to Yasharal, most commonly known as Israel. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. We are about to see the emergence of much that has been written in scriptures. With that said, let me continue. This is part 2 of the segment entitled Motivated to Seek Answers. Motivated to Seek Answers. I have witnessed many initiatives trying to fulfill scriptures. In other words, people's actions. They're looking at end-time prophecies, and it's almost like they're trying to fabricate the fulfillment of such, void of listening to what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. I have witnessed those who are among the synagogue of Satan, rich and wealth and money, orchestrating a mindset and a climate and an environment that is conducive to a reflection of what they believe is described in scriptures, only to prove that wickedness is before them and that they are indeed from the synagogue of Satan. I have even witnessed the children of Yasharal, Hebrews, Abrim, and many others trying to attempt to perform tasks that they believe are ordered by Yahushua Mashiach. Many trying to mimic Moses or Mushah and Aharon or Aaron, and working, trying to rally Yasharal together. I have witnessed individuals become overly excited and embrace the thought that there will be a pre-tribulation rapture. And soon and very soon the proof of such will be erased, and people will begin to wonder. I have witnessed a proliferation of individuals who talk about returning to Hebrew roots, the roots of the Abrim, the children of Yahuwah, who sought and demonstrated their pursuit to worship and obey the Almighty. I've seen people talk about that, but fail to acknowledge who true Yasharal represents. I have seen individuals teach Christians, those under the label of Christians. I've seen an individual teach that all is Yasharal, who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father. Though they use pagan terms, they move in a direction that brings them towards truth, but for some reason they do not want to acknowledge that the scriptures foretell of 144,000 Hebrews, Abrim, that will indeed rise up in the end times. But for some reason, those who are returning to Hebrew roots, those who are beginning to look and examine what is indeed set apart, fail to acknowledge that we who are indeed Hebrew, Abrim, truly exist. My brothers and sisters, it's time to begin to rallying the truth, rallying towards answers from the living Mashiach, Yahushua Messiah. Pray, for soon and very soon, we will become more motivated to seek answers. Let me read Matthew 24:23 through 25. Let me just take a moment to read that. It reads, if anyone then says to you, look, here is the Messiah, or there, do not believe. For false messiahs and false prophets shall rise, and they shall show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. See, I have forewarned you. My brothers and sisters, the time is now to seek the life and all that is written. Seek the life like never before in Scripture. Let me read Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open to you. That time is now, my brothers and sisters. Seek. Knock. Open our eyes and ears and receive what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying to you, to me, to us, to the assembly of the children of Yahuwah. Revelation 3:20 says, see, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I shall come in to him and dine with him and he with me. Do not be remiss and do not ignore, my brothers and sisters. There are living orders and commands that will come to be. We will hear the voice of the Spirit of our Mashiach, those who will fulfill end time prophecies. We serve an almighty one, not a passive one. He is fierce, he is severe, he is loving, he is almighty, he is the beginning and the end. My brothers and sisters, are you aware that there is growing widespread drought across the planet, especially where most of our foods are grown? How many have given thought? How long can you go without fresh water before it starts impacting the food inventories? Are you aware that growing widespread drought has been prolonged in many cases for 3, 4, 5 years or more in some cases? And is rising, is getting worse. And soon and very soon, the agriculture areas across this planet will become barren, as famine will prove to be a result of prolonged and widespread drought. Have you given thought that without water, it is most difficult to survive physically from a natural perspective? Have you given thought that without water and due to continued drought, that this will affect our food? Who has given thought that from a natural perspective, there are 4 major things that we need to live? I mention them often: fresh water, fresh air, food, and a safe place to live. And all of these are being threatened. CO2 and methane gas is rising like never before, being released into the atmosphere, causing global warming and climate change, causing erratic weather patterns that brings about destruction and even death in some cases. Who is aware of the sequence of things that we are facing? Who is aware that our fresh water, as a result of drought in many areas, is affecting the very way of life for many and will spread across the planet? How many of us have considered what is written in Amos 4th chapter verses 6 through 13? I invite you to go read the 4th chapter of Amos, verse 6 through 13. I have been compelled to call this the Amos sequence. It is a sequence of events that occurred before the wrath of the Almighty Father was released upon the face of the earth during a time of much wickedness. Pray, my brothers and sisters. I submit to you that we are in that same sequence and we are at that point, just as in Amos when it mentions prepare to meet your Maker, our Maker, the Almighty One, Yahuwah. We are at that point. Who has come to discern that that same sequence is unfolding as this message is presented? Who has given thought to Revelation 7:3 regarding the servants of the Most High Father being sealed? Are you aware? Look around. The earth has been harmed. The sea has been harmed. The trees have been harmed. Do you not think that it is the conditions of this world prove that the earth, the seas, and the trees have been harmed? And if there is proof, can we not receive the life that indeed the Most High Father has sealed his servants? Man has polluted the earth beyond measure. The seas are facing a rise in acidity levels like never before imagined since the dawn of ages. Extreme temperature changes and contamination of waters from radioactive waste are widespread. Who is aware that the Fukushima disaster that happened in 2011 has been continuously spewing radioactive waste and byproducts in the Pacific Ocean for over 4 years now? The removal of our trees, or the term deforestation, is at an all-time high. We read about end times, and many are familiar with the death and destruction that is mentioned in Scripture. But how many of us has given thought to how close we are to witnessing the fierce wrath of the Almighty Father? My brothers and sisters, there is much work to be done. There's so little time, but know this: the Almighty Father knows all and has promised much concerning Yasharal regarding end-time prophecy fulfillment and much more. We serve an Almighty One in Yahuwah, and He indeed sent His set-apart Spirit in Yahushua's name to teach us, to guide us, to remind us of all that He said. We take for granted the very words we speak. Many take for granted if it's not a quote from Scripture. We fail to weigh the words we hear in our ears and measure them against the living Scriptures, the Scriptures that they are made alive. Many are so inundated thinking that they must just quote Scripture. But do we not serve a living Almighty One who guides His children? And in our set apartness, it is a reflection of what is written. We are about to witness something phenomenal. The Spirit of Yahushua will rise up, working in us, and through His chosen leaders like never before imagined. I cannot stress enough that forced migrations are coming. There will be forced movement. For the set-apart children of Yasharal, it will be a time of refinement, and our final exodus will come, and we will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. For those who serve the wicked one, they will witness being moved. Those who will remain physically alive will be removed from their current location and begin to witness being gathered and functioning under the one world government beast system to be led by the anti-Messiah and false prophet. So there will be those who serve the Almighty Father and those who will be at the influence of the wicked one, Satan. Pray, my brothers and sisters, we are not far from witnessing the emergence of a wicked government system beyond what we are seeing today. During my prayer, it was as though the Spirit of Yahushua informed me that the cries of the saints, the cry of His children, the cries of His people have been heard, and that the Almighty One, He will respond like never before imagined. And we will witness a rise in the Spirit of Yahushua Mashiach. My brothers and sisters, the realization of our beliefs, the expectations that we look forward to His physical return, the expectation that we have in being gathered, the pursuit of set-apartness is about to be magnified. We will be tried and tested. We will be refined. The proof that we serve a living Almighty One, Yahuwah, through His set-apart Spirit sent in Yahushua's name, is about to be magnified and rise beyond measure. I assure you, the time of action is upon us. From preparing and being refined to set-apart movement that will prove to be the emergence of an awakening nation that will become known as the children of obedience, the children of Yasharal, the children of the Most High, the children of Yahuwah. My brothers and sisters, the time of being overwhelmed is coming. For some, it had already begun. There will be surprises as to who will represent the 144,000 as individuals discover their identities, their tasks, their assignments. There will be surprises, my brothers and sisters, from individuals that will discover that not only will there be surprises of who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 Hebrews are bringing, but there will also be surprises regarding the great multitude mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter, consisting of many nations, kindreds, tribes, and tongues who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah, who accept Yahushua as Mashiach and are guided by His voice and through His Spirit. Grafted together as one, we will be under the banner of Yasharal, and we will prove to be that awakening nation being gathered from the four corners of the earth. Remember, though the number will be great, it will only represent a remnant when you compare it to the total world population. Emotions will be heightened as people are gathered, as well as regarding people, those who are left behind. What is it going to take for you to become motivated to seek answers? Today, there will be no excuses, and no one is exempt from the living orders and commands from the Almighty Father Yahuwah through a set-apart spirit sent in Yahushua's name. I cannot stress enough how the time is at hand to begin asking questions, more questions, and even more questions with a mind to discern and respond to the living orders and commands from the Spirit of Yahushua. Those who will fulfill end-time prophecies, we will ask questions. We will seek out answers. We will seek more and more each day what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying to us. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. For the Almighty can deliver his words to us in any way, shape, or form he desires that is consistent with what has been written. The Most High Father Yahuwah promised to discipline his children. Therefore, each of us who pursue his will is guaranteed refinement and discipline. Remember, end-time prophecies will be fulfilled. Not maybe, not might, not if they respond or if we respond. End-time prophecies will and they are being fulfilled as I speak, as time moves forward. The Almighty Father Yahuwah, through his set-apart spirits in the Yahushua's name, has begun to unleash his power like never before. Look around, my brothers and sisters. As it is written, vengeance is mine, saith the Almighty Father. I submit to you that vengeance has begun. And we are seeing it. We are seeing in man's wickedness and greed and neglect. We are seeing the dying of a planet. Soon and very soon we will come to embrace the value of time and the awesome favor that we have found in Yahushua Mashiach. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, begin to discover what it takes to get motivated to seek answers, specifically regarding what is expected of you, of me, of us, who will participate in the fulfillment of end-time prophecies. The time is now to get motivated and seek answers regarding end-time instructions and guidance. Begin to earnestly seek out what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. Without him, it can only lead to regret, sorrow, death, and destruction. These days are real. Our planet is dying. The earth has been harmed, and we have polluted our seas and destroyed our trees. The greed and neglect, let alone the rebellion against the set-apart one of Yasharal, is about to be rewarded by the Almighty hand, the Almighty Father. His wrath is emerging. And we who will be among the children of obedience will be gathered to a safe place. For we are not appointed to the wrath of the Almighty One, as it is stated in Scriptures. And that safe place will be the set-apart mountain that we know as Mount Sinai, commonly and currently referred to as Jabal al-Lawz, in the northwest quadrant of a region which is now known as Saudi Arabia. Do not fret, do not worry, do not be afraid, O Yasharal, for true leaders will emerge, and they will execute right rulings and deliver messages to the world government to let my people go. And these individuals who will rise up will be among the chosen of the Almighty Father. I am compelled to believe that soon and very soon we will witness the two witnesses of Revelation, and they will be the last two shepherds that will demand that Yasharal is returned to the promised land. And they will execute right rulings and judgments. They will deliver messages from the Most High like never before. The world will come to yield to the commands and orders of the Most High Father, and we will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. Yes, there will be martyrs, for Scriptures foretell of such. Yes, there will be a falling away. Scriptures foretell of such. Yes, there will be those led astray. It is written in Scriptures. But there will also be those who will rise up as a set-apart children, as an awakening nation, backed by the power and might of the Almighty Father, led by his chosen leaders. Pray and watch. Something phenomenal is coming, my brothers and sisters. It has begun and will be magnified till it will continue to be magnified, and every eye that is physically alive will witness something phenomenal, a great transformation, an emergence of an awakening nation. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, begin to seek answers Begin to discover what it takes to be motivated to seek out answers that are provided by the Spirit of Yahushua. Until next time, choose your steps carefully. Manage the time given wisely. And walk in wisdom, O Yasharal. For the Most High Father Yahuwah knows the mind and the very intent of all. Until next time, O Yasharal, or listen to these words, O people of the Almighty Father Yahuwah who seek to do His will. Until next time, I invite you to continue tuning in as I present what I am compelled to deliver to an awakening nation. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.